And welcome to the program. I'm Charles Aite. The future oil exploration in Ghana could face some financing challenges in the future. It's coming on the back of renewed pressure on banks to cut lending to firms operating in the oil exploration space. George Riafi has the details.
It first started from shareholders of these firms that is putting pressure on them to cut carbon dioxide emissions as part of the green revolution, climate change, and global warming campaign. It is believed that this is one of the reasons why oil exploration giant ExxonMobil had to abandon its works in Ghana due to concerns from its shareholders. But it has moved from just morale swishing to some governments around the world, like the UK, now asking for clear targets and dates to cut lending to these areas and channel funding to green initiatives. There's even a 2030 to 2050 deadline being considered now. Indeed, it costs millions of dollars to carry out these initial works to establish the commercial viability of some of these oil deposits. So if these investors and governments around the world should have their way, exploration works in the future in Ghana could struggle to raise the required funding, a development that may put a lot of pressure on Ghana when it comes to funding some of these works. Some have argued that it might be the right time to put in place the required incentives that would help these firms in Ghana fast-track exploration, or might be left with a lot of oil deposits under the sea that we could be struggling to get the required funds to extract.
Well, we're joined via Zoom by energy strategist Dr. Yusuf Sulemana on this development. Doc, we're so grateful that you could join us. What do you make of the development? Some believe that Westerners are taking this far or maybe taking this for granted.
Yeah, thank you very much, Charles, and good evening to your cherished viewers in Ghana and across the globe. Yeah, indeed, this is a reality, and then we saw it coming. Why do I say that? If you look at a couple of months ago, this has been gathering momentum, and I always knew that it will culminate into most of these things that we are seeing in COP26. What is the whole thing about? I mean, the global energy community is trying to gravitate into what we call shift from the world of hydrocarbon, that is further forward to the world of renewables. Now, this shift is coming with its own challenges. And what are the challenges? I mean, the challenges are clear. The challenges are that how fast is this switch going to be will determine, the profitability, and to also determine, the strategic advantage of whoever is championing this. Now, if you look at what is going on in the upstream, there's a lot of capital discipline, Charles. Capital discipline in the sense that, investment into the world of hydrocarbon is getting constrained to the extent that we have, the momentum right in what we call ESGs. That is environmental social governance. Now, these movements, they are all part of the green energy movement. But what I see is that the world of hydrocarbon is going to be with us for some time, Charles. And the better we take advantage of what we have now, the better we take advantage of what we are now, the best for us, as a country. Yeah.
Much dependent on, the upstream sector. What particular assessment can you make about the effects that this could have on our revenue margins?
Yeah, so great effects, Charles. Number one, see, the survival of this industry depends on how much money you pump into the industry. If you remember the deadlines that are set for 2030 and then 2050, that 2030, people should gravitate, all nations should gravitate to what we call net zero, from 2030 up to 2050. What this means is that there has to be a drastic reduction in the investment to the world of hydrocarbon. And this happened. Remember, Ghana, we depend so much, we are getting a lot of revenue from the world of hydrocarbon. This year, for instance, we are projecting about, about $800 million in the world of hydrocarbon as in our proceeds from oil finds. Now, assuming investment into the world of hydrocarbon dwindles, this is going to struggle. It's going to struggle a lot. And so what we need to do as a nation is to take advantage of what we have now. We have to strategize. We have to increase our investment portfolio into the world of hydrocarbon. If we do that, I think we'll be in a better position to take advantage of what we have now. Otherwise, we can have these resources going to what we call stranded resources. And if they become stranded, meaning that they'll be on the ground, and then we're not going to have opportunity to be able to take it up from the ground. And then the movement of climate change is a serious one. And I'm saying that it's a serious one because we have to be calculative, because nations might be forced, to take up some kind of challenges. I mean, some kind of investment challenges that will impact the portfolio, both the upstream and then the downstream.
Exactly.
So we have to look into homegrown solutions. Invest into the upstream. Let's build our portfolio within the upstream, so that assuming any of our players begin to move away, especially what happened in ExxonMobil, when they move away, then we'll be in a strategic position to take advantage of whatever we have. Otherwise, the stranded asset that we are talking about is a reality, and we have to be very careful about that. Yeah.
But even if we invest into the upstream in 30 years' time, when the entire global policy is to move green, don't you think that we shall be shortchanged when it comes to reaping the benefits out of this investment? Because we wouldn't have anyone to be interested in, the kind of energy that we're supplying them.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. It has to be balanced. I always believe that. I mean, we don't have to say we're going to put everything into the world of hydrocarbon, but I believe that the proceeds from the world of hydrocarbon is what's going to help us diversify into the green energy that we have. If we come over the Gulf, most of the oil companies, the NOCs in the Gulf, they are championing green energy in quantums that are so admirable. How do they do that? They do that because they are able to take advantage of what they have in the world of hydrocarbon. And those nations who are very successful, those NOCs who are very successful in championing green energy alongside, hydrocarbon investment, they are those that are able to take advantage of what they have. So saying that, by 2030, whatever investment that we're going to make into the world of hydrocarbon will become fruitless, I don't think it may be accurate. The world of hydrocarbon, I believe, will still be with us in the next 2, 3, and even 4 decades to come. But what we need to do is that investment may be constrained, and that's a reality, what I just mentioned about ESGs. And so what we need to do to be able to cushion ourselves is to broaden our portfolio in terms of our upstream investment. If you don't do that, at the point in time, it will come to a time that the current players that we have, they may begin to leave. And if they leave and we are not capable to stand alone to operate our fields, then we're going to find ourselves in very difficult situations. So yes, 2030 is coming, 2050 deadlines, they are all coming. But I don't think, as a nation, we just have to abandon the world of hydrocarbon because these deadlines are coming. No, we rather have to strategize and diversify, so that at any point in time, that we are constrained in terms of financial, input. We should be in a position inwardly to be able to support ourselves. And I think the move by GNPC in this regard, where they want to expand their upstream portfolio, involve ex-local, in championing our upstream portfolio, I think it's the best way to go. Only we just need to make sure that we try to get value for money in most of the deals that we're doing. But other than that, whatever GNPC is doing at this moment, where they're going to expand the upstream portfolio to take advantage of what we have, I think it's a commendable move. And that is the only way we can guarantee the future of our investment in terms of our upstream.
Dr. Yusuf Sulemana, we're grateful once again that you could join us as always. Energy strategists helping us understand the positioning and effects of, Ghana's upstream sector, especially when climate change is beckoning world leaders to assess matters regarding investment to that particular sector. We still stay on climate change because the Bui Power Authority is fully represented in the ongoing UN Climate Change Conference, wooing investors to consider doing business with them. The Chief Executive of the authority, Kofi Jamesi, says there are great opportunities for any investor ready to invest in hydro and wind energy. He's been speaking to Seth Kwame Boateng from Glasgow.
We have the Bui hydro plant, but that doesn't limit us to getting other hydro plants. As I'm speaking to you, we have been given the 3 big rivers in the western region, the Pra, the Ankobra, and the Tano. We've started, we're dealing with consultants seriously to be able to generate small hydro plants using the run on the river technique to get more hydro from those 3 rivers. Aside of that, we think that everywhere that we can put up a mini hydro, we'll be able to do that. That's what we've done for Chachadu. We're also looking at really waterfalls where we can generate at least between 2 to 4 megawatts from that waterfall. The water is just falling, but if you go at the top, there's also another fall there. We can use it and generate more power. So all these generations are renewables. In fact, hydro is a renewable. Then getting to solar, as you've been told, within the Bui enclave, we are generating 250 megawatts. 50 is already working, and the 200 is also being constructed. That is within the Bui enclave. That is not even the limit. The limit is that we've started 1 megawatt plant on the reservoir itself, and the reservoir is huge. We can get more power from the reservoir also. Apart from that, we are also targeting those areas where we think that we can maximize power from solar in Ghana.
You're still watching Business Live with me, Charles Aite. Still to come in the bulletin, increase in sin taxes, but don't reverse the 50% benchmark value. That's from the Ghana Union Traders Association. They are appealing to government ahead of the 2022 budget presentation.
If those harmful materials got high duties, do we have problem? We said no, because it's going to help us fight diseases and all that. That's why we put that at the tail end of our request.
Well, back to one of our main stories. The Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, is appealing to government not to reverse the policy on the 50% reduction on the benchmark value in the 2022 National Budget Statement. According to Dr. Joseph Obeng, businesses are in serious distress and finding it difficult to operate. Hence, any attempt to reverse the policy will spell doom for doing business in Ghana, especially within the trading community. The GUTA president spoke earlier on Marketplace, saying that there won't be any objection to government's decision of increasing taxes of non-essential goods such as alcoholic drinks, cigarettes, and other related products that may be harmful to human health.
Once they are not going to be able to reduce the duty rate, then there's nothing that they can also do on the discount that they've given to us, because this is the only mitigating factor for businesses to survive at this time, especially in the wake of COVID. We are surviving because of this, the benchmark reduction. And we cannot contain any further additional layer of cost of doing business, especially when this year also saw introduction of new taxes. We cannot take it any longer, because the world commodity prices have gone up astronomically high. Freight charges have gone up, and then internally also the import charges and other levies have also gone up. So how can the final consumer even be able to absorb all these costs?
Well,
also for the trading community.
You have stated the fact that there isn't going to be any objection to the increase in sin taxes. And what other expectations do you have ahead of the budget reading?
Yeah, we have made our input into so many areas, especially the issues of interest rate, that government should do everything for the cost of borrowing to come down. And then for the taxes of these commodities that I was talking about, is due, we brought it because of some meetings that we've entered into, and then this issue also came up, that if those harmful materials got high duties, do we have problem? We said no, because it's going to help us fight diseases and all that. That's why we put that at the tail end of our request.
Now, some cement sellers have bemoaned the increased rates of the upward adjustment in prices of building materials, particularly cement. Engaging a cement seller, he outlines the negative impacts of COVID-19 on prices and the general livelihood. Seller J. Jom Sogli has the rest of the story.
The price of raw materials have been projected to go up significantly from now till the end of this year. I'm at a cement shop today to engage the suppliers on how the prices have risen throughout this year from January till now. We are in November. Whether the prices of cement or the raw materials that are used in building have gone up significantly or otherwise. I'm here with Mr. Usu. He's a distributor of various brands of cement. He has Jata Cement, Gasem, Dangote and the likes. He also deals in other building materials like the iron rods and among other things. Now I want to ask him, how has business been from the beginning of the year till now? This year started na cement boy saying.
Started this year no were from kakra because COVID no na say neman started say e cost. Beginning of the year no na even less than 40 Ghana, but say cement gasam you were 32 and you were 42 near 47 cities and 42 no so akoye 49 cities. Dangote crowd e beira system no kra afi ne biaba nti eba no eko 52 nti utimuze nema no kosro.
So he was just saying that from the beginning of this year the price of cement was about below 40 Ghana cedis, but we are in November and the prices have shot up to 47, 48 and even having some at 52 Ghana cedis. Pacho say no, yes say cement prices, raw materials some they yet say clinker near they no. Yeah, price na cost plus shipping cost no so cost nti. I say no, omo the price na be cement ne ho as an matter am. The mate and will be more expect any price increase.
Yeah, to home because 70 no kra ho be dia na nipa nyina kra suppliers nyɛ mu nyina na nya bi, but after some time no and I'm say aba nti zan ya te say COVID-19 on say na system no mu na ye so cement free China ne other nature say competition wo ho eno nti na cement na aba ebiabo form se say eba ne say gasam nkwa na produce ne ayi no edam ka ho bi na bo na koso nti minim say bia say competition ne timi san ba say shipment ne ad no say ebo no etimi reduce a niam no so betimi akofom.
So just to reiterate what he said for those of us who may not be able to understand the Chi language. He's saying that because of competition at a point, the prices of the cement were a bit normal, but since it's just some producers like Gasem who were able to manufacture when the COVID hit and all of that, the prices went up because there was no competition. So he's expecting that in case the competition comes back, the prices may somehow go down or become stable.
6 p.m. tonight on Joy Business Social, we are discussing online business engagement with host Odilia Ntiamwa. She joins us via Zoom. Odilia, so what should we expect tonight?
Excitement. I believe that the OECD countries indicate that when it comes to SME space and how they're really moving to adopt digitalization, it's been a bit slow. And so the expectation is that tonight's discussion, we will take a look at, one, what sort of sectorial infrastructure should be placed for SMEs to really thrive in these times. Remember also that technology and the fast pace at which it's currently going has gone about 10 years ahead of itself. It means that those within the SME space, businesses will have to really catch up quickly. And there will be two areas that they have to catch up. That is their processes, operationalizing their processes by digitizing them. And of course, their sales aspect also, digitizing the sales aspect in order to bring in more revenue. And so these are the things we'll be looking at tonight. And I'm sure that it will be really exciting.
It will be exciting, actually. And for those of us wondering, speakers tonight, 3 speakers, including Professor Lord Mensah. So please do make a day with Odelia and Tiamwa tonight at 6 p.m. for Joy Business Social. You can see on the screen there the speakers tonight for you. And of course, that's how we end this edition of Business Live. I'm Charles Aite. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. Many thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of our programs.